It's time for good energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and today is Bodyful Day 109, Sleep and the Senses, and today we're talking about smell. All right, if you haven't guessed, part of the props for today is essential oils. You can also use herbs and spices if you steam them, put them in some hot water next to you on the bed. All right, let's start out with our basics. Take a deep breath in. And release. Deep breath in. Expand through the belly. Expand, expand. And tuck that tailbone. Deep breath in. And release. And think about anything you've got going on. And try to breathe into wherever you're feeling it. Take a deep breath in. And release. All right. So as we work through this week, we have been working on how to use our breath to help identify things in our space that will help us sleep better or that are stressors. And today we're talking about the sense of smell. So, as we know, there are certain scents that are calming to the nervous system. And the interesting thing, of course, is sometimes what is calming for you is excitatory for me and vice versa. So it's very hard to say globally, yes, the smell of is really good for calming. But I have a few here that are, notorious for their calming ability. Lavender is good for calming for many people. Bergamot sometimes. You can think about bergamot as that little kind of bitter twist at the end of Earl Grey tea. Geranium rose sometimes is calming. Vetiver is actually good for calming the nervous system. And, of course, good old frankincense. All right. And I'm not sure if myrrh would be considered calming or not. So those are some of the basics. If you have essential oils around the house, you can, of course, do exactly what we've been talking about throughout this entire week, which is go into your bedroom, lie on your bed, open up an essential oil, smell it, and see how well you can breathe. If opening up, let's just say, geranium rose isn't one of my favorites, but let's just say I open up geranium rose and I'm lying down, even though it smells good, it's not something I want to smell all night long. And so taking a deep breath in, seated, is not actually too bad. It would be interesting to see what would happen when I lie down. Do I get as big a breath in as I should when I smell this? So let's say you do this process and you figure out that tonight a very good thing for you to do would be to have some lavender around. How do you use it? Well, one of the things you can do is you can put it in an infuser. Sorry, not an infuser, a diffuser. And you can put it into a diffuser, probably put 1 or 2 drops, and if it has a timer, set it for about an hour so that you start it maybe 15 minutes before you crawl into bed. It's on for about 45 to help you just drift off to sleep, and then it turns off. If you don't have a timer, you can use one of the plug-in ones. You just have to be a little careful with because the heat-based ones, because the heat can actually kind of alter the molecule. If none of those are available to you, you could put a little bit on a pulse point or 2. If you want more of a scent, you could put it by your underneath your ears. If you want less of a scent, you could put it on your wrists or down by your ankles. Just something that, and really just a dab, like not even a whole drop. You don't want to wait for a drop to roll out. Just enough to get that finger wet, and then just kind of put it on your body. Now, there is a caution with putting things directly on your body. If your body's not used to essential oils, you may have a significant reaction. So if you're going to do that, make sure that you put an oil on underneath first. So you could put a little bit of coconut oil or a little bit of lotion on underneath, and then put a very small dab of that on top. So oils are possible. I kind of like diffusing them, but it's also good sometimes to put them on, but in a diluted form. Again, you don't want too much. These are concentrated, and concentrated oils have just the same effect as concentrated herbs and spices, or when you break herbs and spices down and you get their medicinal component, you have just as much of a reaction. So be careful when you use an essential oil. Don't use a lot, and if you're not used to putting them directly on your skin, and you're not sure whether or not you'll react, always combine them with something like almond oil or coconut oil or olive oil, another type of oil that can act as a buffer so that it doesn't go directly on your skin and cause a reaction. Now, I also mentioned that if you don't have essential oils sitting around the house, one of the things you can do is you can go to your spice rack. And you kind of want to steer clear of the warming spices, because those are usually excitatory. So your cinnamon, your ginger, your cardamom, your black pepper, your allspice, all of those, while really good at working on fungal infections and drying up the body, you don't really want that before you go to bed. So look for more clearing, lung-oriented spices and herbs like eucalyptus and rosemary and thyme, and maybe even a little bit of oregano. But again, take all of those to your bedroom, smell them, and then take a deep breath in and say, do I breathe better with these near me? And if you do, then you take that spice, you have a boiling, get some boiling water, put it on your bedside table. Obviously put a coaster underneath it so that you don't ruin your wood. And then sprinkle some herbs in there, and use the scent from the herbs to essentially diffuse into your room, steam into your room. And what you may find is that may help you go to sleep better. It may help you breathe better while you are sleeping. And it may calm your nervous system down so that the quality of sleep that you get is actually better than without. Now, the other thing I also know is that sometimes you don't want to use them every day in a row. You don't want to use the same oils or the same herbs day after day after day after day, because the nervous system, just like we've talked about adaptation everywhere else, if you use the same herb or same spice or same oil every single day, the body gets used to it, and it loses its power. It loses its ability to help make positive changes in your body. So if lavender does help you go to sleep, do it a few days, take a day off, take 2 days off, and then come back and do it again. All right, I think that is good for today. So let's go ahead and take our deep breath in and release. All right, have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.